It's the Brad and John Show.
As I knock things off the floor in the studio. Hey, John, before we get into the showgirl segment of the show, I have to tell you an interesting story. You'll get a kick out of this. One of my friends who follows politics, yesterday, I had a discussion with this person, and they brought up the fact that what the hell happened to Mike Kehoe, and this is this person telling me this. I voted for him, and he's disappeared. He's doing nothing.
That is one of the funniest memes that you've brought up, Brad. And it would be wildly irresponsible every time for you that you bring it up for me to not say, of everything dumb I've ever heard escape from your lips, that's probably the dumbest. And I know it's not your opinion. I know it's someone else's. But to suggest that Mike Kehoe isn't in every corner of the state every week just shows that person's ignorance. But you know what? Most people don't follow politics as closely as you and I do. So there you go.
Can I tell you one other thing that I think?
Please do.
I think that Andrew Bailey made a huge mistake because of the fact that here, when he was the Attorney General, he was like Mr. Media. He was everywhere. He had the office. He had his own studio down at 97.1. Now that he's the third man on the totem pole with Kash Patel and the is there a microphone close because I can talk to it? Dan Bongino. They never hear from Andrew Bailey. He's like disappeared off the face of the earth. You know what I'm saying?
You know, there's a lot of knuckle draggers in politics, and this is not you, Brad, but they use the phrase, they like to quote the art of war. And there's a quote in there, never outshine the master. So if you're Andrew Bailey, you're probably just happy to be there right now. You're probably learning where the restrooms are in all these facilities, and you're dedicated to not outshining your boss.
John, oh, man, that hurts. I just poured hydrogen peroxide on my knuckles. God, I hate it when that happens. Okay. John doesn't get that.
I don't get that reference.
Hydrogen peroxide on my knuckles. My knuckles are raw from being drug on the ground. Get it? So
I see.
Okay, now it's time for John's segment of the show where he is essentially doing this for his kids because they're Taylor Swift lovers, and he's giving us 10 quotes, and he's making me choose between, did Taylor Swift say that, or who's the person that's going to go up against Taylor this morning?
Today, in the life of a political showgirl, half of the quotes, I shouldn't give away the percentage. A percentage of the quotes will come from Camellia Peterson.
Uh-oh.
And some quotes will come from Taylor Swift's new album. Brad, I wasn't familiar with the idea that I'm doing this so that my kids can play along, but that's also a great concept. That's a great idea. I appreciate that. So I will read 10 quotes, and Brad, you're going to guess. And I'd like to point out that on Monday, you set a very low bar. When we played with Corey Bush quotes, you only scored 3 out of 10, right?
Yeah, but you know what? Today I'm going to score 5 out of 10 because you know why?
Why is that?
Never mind. Just go ahead and you'll figure it out.
And yesterday, though, in the Kara Spencer edition, you scored 8 out of 10. So it was a big comeback for you. Okay, we're going to get into this. We're going to start with number 1. And Brad, I'll remind you that I put these quotes through a randomizer this morning to eliminate human bias and human error. And I'll read them with minimal emotion or sing-songy tone. Number 1, buy me ice cream and coffee, and there's a shot.
Camellia Peterson.
The correct answer is Camellia Peterson. Very good job, Brad. That didn't sound like Taylor Swift to you?
No. Nope. Not at all.
It's from a 2020 tweet from Camellia. Now, to be fair, Camellia was talking about men and romance. And here's her full quote. She was talking about what she wants in men. Quote, humor, parentheses, snarky, brains, attitude, challenge me intellectually, and buy me ice cream and coffee, and there's a shot. What do you think of that quote, Brad?
Is she married now? Is she single, or what's the deal?
I can't speak to the extent to which she is on the market, but I guess you would have to tweet at her at Rare Camellia on Instagram or on X, and you could probably establish her relationship status if you were into that, Brad.
Okay, I'll ask. Okay.
What a great quote. By the way, Brad, have you ever heard of the word sapiosexual?
Yes, I have. I know exactly what that is.
I bet you do, Brad. I bet you do.
Yep.
Okay, number 2, you're 1-0, Brad. If those are options, then I don't have to do a thing unless the hero we need enters the scene.
Camellia Peterson.
The correct answer is Camellia Peterson.
See,
wow, we're on a streak, Brad.
I'm
2 Camellias in a row, and you're 2-0. Auspicious debut.
Right.
Okay, that one was again from a tweet, an archive tweet from Camellia Peterson. Number 3, make a hero of Constantine, but he really wasn't. And his mother, she was something.
Camellia Peterson.
The correct answer is Camellia Peterson. 3 in a row, Brad.
I'm telling you, John.
Why are you doing so well today, and why are you confident that you'll get at least 50% correct?
Just keep going, John. Just keep going.
You're not using Chat GPT for this, are you?
No, I am not.
Okay. Is Camellia Peterson in studio with you?
No, she's not.
Okay. You're not at some sort of sapiosexual support group?
No, we're not. No, we're not. No.
Okay. Well, you're 3-0, and I believe in you, and I believe that you'll do well the rest of this one. Number 4, driving off into the setting sun isn't so much romantic as it is blinding.
Camellia Peterson.
The correct answer is Camellia Peterson. Brad, this randomizer didn't work exactly as I was expecting it to. Now, why doesn't that sound like Taylor Swift? I thought you would have fallen for that one.
Nope, because I know I keep going.
Okay. I bet you're live texting with Camellia right now, actually. I bet there's some sort of a sapiosexual thread that I'm not on. Okay, number 5. You got to do the whole arched back right angles.
Camellia Peterson.
The correct answer is Camellia Peterson. Brad, I don't mean to, I don't generally talk about my personal life here, but I will just say that there are offspring in the room with me that are enthralled by the fact that you're 5-0, and much like their old man, they can't believe that you're 5-0.
5-0. Keep going, John. Keep going.
Okay. Number 6. I said I don't believe in marriage. That was a lie.
Here's the interesting thing. I think that my run is over because I'm once again going to say Camellia Peterson.
The correct answer is Taylor Swift. And that is from the song Eldest Daughter. I mentioned yesterday that's not like my favorite song on the album, but I know some folks who happen to like that song. Wow. So, Brad, you don't have a perfect record, but you can still match yesterday 8-10. You can even do it one better, 9-1. Okay, number 7. What could you possibly get for the girl who has everything and nothing all at once?
I'm already predicting my score, and I know what my score will be. I say Camellia Peterson.
The correct answer is Taylor Swift. That's from the song Elizabeth Taylor. One of my offspring, I have to say. That's their favorite song. Okay, Brad, you can still match yesterday. You can still be at least 8-2. Brad, are you sure you're not going to, according to AI.com, and asking questions?
I can't because of the fact that you're asking these quickly and I'm answering it right away.
That's true.
There's no hesitation.
And you are just an intelligent man. Okay, here we go. Number 8. Counting on my Ice Princess vibes to win out.
Camellia Peterson.
The correct answer is Camellia Peterson. Way to go, Brad. Okay. And number 9. Pledge allegiance to your hands, your team, your vibes.
Camellia Peterson.
The correct answer is Taylor Swift. Yeah, that's from the lead single, which is The Fate of Ophelia. Okay, and the new number 10, since I had a glitch earlier, I'm glad I had this pulled up. Life is a song. It ends when it ends.
Camellia Peterson.
The correct answer is Taylor Swift. That's from the song Opalite. That's also a beautiful song. Brad, by my calculations, you went exactly 5 out of 5.
Well, I think I was 6-4 actually, John, or maybe I was.
You know what? Because I double did the marriage one, I was incorrect. Are you 6-4?
I believe I was 6-4, but here's why I did what I did. You made a strategic error when you said.
Did I tell you that we were doing Camellia today? Was that the error?
No, you said that the answers were 50-50 or something. You made some comment about the fact that okay, half of these are going to be Camellia. You didn't come out and say that, but essentially your tell was the reason I answered Camellia Peterson to all of them is because I thought to myself, okay, if half of them there are Taylor Swift and half of them are Camellia Peterson, I could just take one person and answer that all the questions, and I would at least get 50-50 because you said.
That's a great approach. And Brad, I should also confess to you that in the original version of this, I had 6 quotes from Camellia Peterson and 4 from Taylor Swift.
So
when I said half of them will be, I was not being truthful.
Right, but see, once again, it's like I watch these videos. I watch too many YouTube videos, but there's this bizarre dude, and I can't remember his name. He's this gambling guy that wins literally millions of dollars, and he talks about all these crazy ways you can win in Vegas. And for example, he gave this example the other day about cards. He said that, and I never thought about this. He says, think about how they print cards. They print, the playing cards. They print cards on an entire sheet. So in other words, you have all the aces of spades, and they do like an entire sheet of aces of spades, and then they chop them up in individual cards. He says, depending on the brand of cards, the backing is different on the various cards. And he says there's guys.
No way. How have they not fixed that?
I don't know. He claims this is true. He claims this is true that and he gives examples of this. It's pretty interesting because he talks about, and what's interesting about this is, I don't know if you've ever seen this before, and I have a friend of mine that is literally banned from the casinos here in St. Louis because he's a card counter. There used to be a guy, and I'll tell you, this is a radio geek story, a guy by the name of Bruce Williams. Before Rush Limbaugh came to prominence, Bruce Williams was the #1 talk show host in the country. And he did a talk show, and Bruce was an interesting guy. He was a former mayor of a city he lived in, and he owned a bunch of different businesses. And he was sort of like a common sense kind of guy, and he talked about things all the time. And if you listen very carefully when he was on the air, you could hear something rustling in the background, and you could hear like things being moved around in the background. And one night, I'm listening to Bruce Williams driving. I was driving somewhere. I was driving cross country or something like that. And a caller called in and says, "Bruce, I got my headphones on, and when I'm listening to your show, you're doing something off mic. I hear something being moved around. It almost sounds like you're moving something on a table." And Bruce says, "I'm card counting." And I went, what? While Bruce is on the air doing his talk show, he was playing hands of blackjack because, and he explained this, is that if you go to a casino and they identify you as a card counter at the blackjack table, the way they counteract this, the casinos do, is they have the dealer talk to you. So that way it screws up your card counting. If you're
so he would practice at home counting cards while he's having a conversation.
He would be on the air dealing himself blackjack hands, doing the talk show, counting cards at the same time because of the fact he was teaching himself to essentially disregard the verbal cues that people were talking to him, and instead he was counting the cards in his head while people were talking to him and while he was talking back to them. And I'm going, oh my God. And he supposedly was banned to some casinos as well too. See, when it comes to tuning out nonsense, Brad, that reminds me of the fact of, I know why Camellia Peterson likes you so much. I figured out why you guys get along. You know why that is? Why is that?
Not because she's a sapiosexual, which she may or may not be, but because she used to teach English as second language.
Oh, really?
So when it comes to people that have trouble communicating, she has a lot of empathy and experience,
For those of you who do not know what a sapiosexual is someone who is interested in other people because of their intelligence and intellectual abilities. Correct, John? Is that pretty much the idea?
Yeah. And if there weren't kids around, I'd use a another word to describe that. Yeah, and so they find a sense of pleasure in. Yeah, I think that's the most delicate way I could say it at this exact moment.
Whereas,
I mean, they're attracted to people intellectually.
Right, and let's put it this way: that some men are leg men, and some men are butt men, and some men are boob men, and some men.
Brad, there we go.
And some men who are sapiosexuals are brain men. Would that be a better way of putting it, John?
You think there's any men that are brain men?
Yes, I do.
Good. Can you imagine loving a woman because she challenges you intellectually? I can't imagine that, Brad.
That's the best kind, John. That's the best kind. The best kind is because, and especially when you're 90 years old, the bodies don't do much for you anymore, but the brain still does. You know what I'm saying, John?
Oh, Brad. Boy, what a pleasant note to end on. Great performance today, Brad.
Okay. Who's tomorrow? Should I even ask?
Yeah, I'll give everyone a hint. It's a former Speaker of the House, and yes, it is a woman.